Hey Tumblr, or whoever happens to be watching this, I guess. My name's Winter. This is my first video. Let's get to it. Alright, okay, our first question comes from Porn Princess Poetry Queen, which is an interesting name. Mixing the two together. She would like to know what is a phobia of mine and what's one of the craziest things to happen to me. Phobia. Right off the bat. These things. I hate spiders so much. I would much more likely burn my house down than go up against a spider the size of my hand. That's just how it is. I am terrified of spiders. If you toss a rubber spider on me, you're probably going to get punched in the face. Hey, quick note from the future, from future me. Feels weird interrupting myself, but I completely forgot to answer the second half of the first question because I had to re-record the Q&A because the first recording came out horrible as far as quality goes. Craziest thing that's ever happened to me? That's a good question. I'd have to go with this time. I used to live in Pittsburgh, and I lived above a bar with one of my really close friends. And one of our friends, who was also living there, was out drinking. So it was like 2 in the morning, and he came in, but he didn't lock the door. And I assumed when the door opened later that it was his girlfriend Emily coming in. And then this random white guy just comes strolling up the stairs. I didn't see him, and my friend was asleep on the floor, and my other friend was in his room. So the dude sits down next to me, and then just goes to sleep. And then like 2 more people do the same thing, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I mean, eventually I woke them up. And I was like, guys, who the hell are you? And they're like, oh, this isn't Mike's apartment? It's like, no one named Mike lives here. And I had to walk them down the stairs because the stairs that we had were really steep. Like the angle that they were on was almost dangerous. And being as they were drunk, I didn't want them to kill themselves in our apartment. So that's probably not the craziest thing that's happened to me, but it's the most memorable, strange thing that's happened to me as of late. I'm sure I have weirder stories. I just never put much thought into them. Anyway, back to the past. Bye-bye. Love and Fuck Me wants to know, do I like all kinds of women? I like anyone that I connect with. It's really that simple. If we click, if there's a spark, if there's chemistry, however you want to sum that up, then there's a chance. Do I have preferences? Of course I do. I mean, doesn't everyone? Do I strictly adhere to those preferences? No. There have been plenty of cases where I've just tossed all the criteria right out the window. In hindsight, those never ended well, but... More Than Sex would like to know, can you love me and touch my butt? And then there's a super smiley, which you guys can clearly see. I'm sure in some universe that's probably happening right now. Like, if we're universe A, universe like W or somewhere, that's actually going on right now. So, yay! Opus for President fan, which I'm sure I said that wrong. Please don't crucify me. Her blog name is actually different now. It's Little Miss Obedient, so I will make sure that I point that out when I post everyone's links. When do I prefer sex? In the morning, when I first wake up, during the day at some point, or at night right before bed. It's gonna sound horrible, but I've never I've never had morning sex. Ever. Like, I've never been with a woman where I wake up in between the hours of 7 a.m., because most of the hours before that don't exist to me, up to 11:30, because let's not kid ourselves. Anything after 11:30, might as well consider that afternoon. So that little window, no, never had sex. Not between those hours. It's always either mid to late afternoon or later on at night. And based on my personal preferences, well, not preferences, but experiences, I prefer it later at night, because good sex equals good sleep. Like, there's really no substitute for that. I mean, sure, you can get yourself off, or you can have hot tea, or whatever the hell people typically do. But good sex just knocks you out. That's how you know you've really done well. Or she's really done well. Love Me Now would like to know, where did I get the name for my blog and why did I choose it? That's actually a very good question. The name for my blog, which I can answer with why did I choose it. I always, well, not always, but when I first started Tumblr, I have a personal blog, but I never use it now. After using the personal blog for like a month or two, I started seeing, porn blogs and stuff, and I was like, wow, people really seem to gravitate towards those types of blogs. So I made up my mind that I wanted to run my own. So I was like, okay, I want to do this, but I don't want to use one of those like really generic and stupid blog names like I Love Sex 22 or Touch My Penis 99. Like, I wanted to steer clear of that. Like, I wanted to use a name that made people want to click on it. Like, oh wow, I wonder what this blog's about. Like, clearly there's sex in the title, so that's where the porn comes in. But I also wanted to have a blog where I could reblog the stuff that I would on my personal blog, like nerd stuff, gamer stuff, music stuff, creepy stuff. And shadows refer to pretty much someone's mind. Because in your head, there's always thoughts or desires or dreams that never have light cast on them. So they're, in a sense, always tucked away in the shadow. And that's where that falls in. Like, all of the stuff that I typically keep to myself, or that I enjoy, that I don't voice, falls in the shadows. So that's where that lies. I just wanted to bring them both together so that I could essentially do what I wanted on both blogs. And it worked so far. I like the name of it, because people don't realize that on Tumblr, your blog name plays a very big role in if people decide to click on it or not. I wanted people to click on my blog, and it's worked so far. I mean, I have a decent amount of followers, so I'm not complaining. But, I mean, if you guys come up with a blog name that you think fits me better, by all means, throw it my way, and if I like it, I will change my blog name. But for now, it works. Question 6 comes from Tease Me Preciosa. If you could go anywhere, where would you go, and what's one person you would take with you? I've never actually put thought into this. I've never wanted to just get up and go somewhere. Not in the sense that it's a place I would choose if I could go anywhere. I mean, I'd probably go somewhere with a lot to look at, like Paris or London or Tokyo. I know for a fact I'd want to leave the United States. I've never left the country, so that'd be something. I'd want to go somewhere where I could take a lot of pictures, create a lot of memories. Essentially, I'd be a tourist, even though I complain about tourists. So, I don't know. If we're not talking about Earth and I could go somewhere without dying, I'd probably go to Saturn, because Saturn's fucking cool. If I could take one person with me, hell if I know. It sounds, no. Yes. Yes. Okay, so don't laugh, but I'd probably take my mother, because I was raised in a single-parent household, so my mom's always been like the superhero to me, and she doesn't get nearly enough of the stuff she deserves, and she deserves nice things, so I'd want to do something nice for my mom as a way of saying, essentially, thank you. Okay, So, before I say anything, I typically am great at saying blog names because I never have to say them out loud, if that makes sense. Like, I typically don't have to say someone's blog out loud. You just read it. It's a visual thing. So I'm sorry. This could either be Jenna Marie Thompson or Gina Marie Thompson. Either way, the URL's right there. You guys see it. She would like to know, where do you see yourself in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years? And then list 5 bucket list items. God damn. Good question though. It's just lengthy. In a year, I honestly don't know. Personally, I'd like to, by then hopefully I'll be finished writing the book that I'm working on, and be working on the second book. I don't think I'll still be living where I am now. I've always wanted to live on the West Coast, but I also, as of recently, have the urge to move to DC. I'm still in the process of finding that one city or town where I move to and feel like I fit perfectly there. So I feel like until then I'll just be bouncing from city to city. So who knows what'll be going on in my life in a year, because I don't. I mean, if you guys know, if one of you can see the future, let me know. Let me know if I'm not dead. 5 years, assuming I'm not dead, I'd like to be in a career that I chose based on something I enjoy and not something that I was forced to choose because people wanted me to make up my mind. Because I feel like that's what college kids do, and that's what high school kids do. It's like, oh man, you gotta choose a career because high school's almost over. It's like, and then they get to my age and they're freaking out because they don't know what to do. But it's okay to not have your life together. I'm only 23 and my life is far from together. So hopefully in 5 years I have something going, like a nice career that I enjoy. Probably going to be revolving around writing. I hope to have the building blocks of a family, like someone that I'm interested in, that I want to settle down with later. I honestly don't know. 5 years, it's not far enough away that significant changes will happen, but not close enough that I actually know what's going to be there. 10 years, house, kid, family, married, good career, boom. Never had to list this, so here's the first. These are winter's random bucket list items. 1. Leave the US at some point. Whether traveling or if work takes me somewhere, get out of this country at least once. 2. Drive an Ascari KZ1. Dream car. Probably never going to be able to afford it, so I'd like to drive it at least once before I die. 3. Write and publish a book, which I'm almost completing that one, I guess. Meet someone famous that I actually give a shit about. My Xbox just turned off. Like, it'd be cool to run into someone famous, as long as I actually cared who they were. Like, if I ran into Miley Cyrus, I mean, it's Miley, I probably hate myself. Like, yeah, she's Miley Cyrus and she's famous, but who the fuck wants to talk to Miley fucking Cyrus? I don't. I'd rather run into, like, David Tennant, Mike Shinoda, ooh, here's a good one. Tattoos, sleeve, right arm, completed. I have one tattoo, like, there's a picture of them on my Tumblr. I'm not going to try to show you because it's on my forearm. But I've always wanted a full sleeve. So hopefully that'll happen, because tattoos are fucking expensive. The ever so lovely Dirty Devin is one of my favorite Tumblr entities. Would like to know what is my favorite thing about myself. Physically, nothing. I mean, I'm not much to look at. I need a haircut, by the way. I like my facial hair. But that's kind of a cop-out answer. Probably I'd have to default to my brain, because it's, I mean, I've always relied on my intelligence, my creativity, and intuition. So that's a big deal to me. That's my favorite part of who I am, because it is who I am. thinker. Christina, baby, would like to know how long have I had a roommate for? About a year. I moved down here from Pittsburgh last October, just before Halloween, I think. So, yeah, just under a year. Boo Boo Kitty asks. It's a good name. She would like to know, if you could have anything right now, what would it be? Financial security. Because that would free up so much time, create so much less stress, and I'd be able to do more and worry about less. On the offhand though, superpowers would be friggin' awesome. Financial security, superpowers. Anyway, that was the questions I got. That was 10. I actually really enjoyed doing this. I'll probably do it again soon. Hopefully I'll have a better webcam in the future so you guys don't have to put up with this low quality crap. I will put the blog names and links for everyone in the post below. I mean, I'm saying this in the past, so you're watching this from the future, so I can only assume that they're already there. Unless I fucked up somehow. Which I really hope I do. So we'll see. Keep in mind that some of the blogs that I am listing below aren't NSFW blogs. And for those of you that aren't good with acronyms, NSFW stands for Noodles Swamp Furry Warrior. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Not safe for work. That's what I meant. So, if you go follow them, don't be weird or creepy. And for the ones that are running NSFW blogs, just because they're reblogging porn doesn't mean they're horny, which means that doesn't give you the right to think with your dick or be a douchebag. So just keep that in mind. They're all wonderful people. You should check them out and follow them. It would do me a huge favor, it would do them a huge favor, if you guys would and reblog this so that everyone has a chance to make new friends. Because at the end of the day, that's what my videos are going to be about. Making friends. For me and whoever participates. And also, Tumblr, at the end of the day, despite all the douchebags and the anons and all that, it's a community. So we kind of have to stick together. Regardless, thanks for watching and bearing with me for my first low-quality, crappy video. It probably sucked, and I'm sorry for the runtime. I will keep it short in the future. Later.